Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Thursday afternoon, November 12th. We're looking at the last 3 days of the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. And I'm now going to encompass this as just a 3-day balance. We're going to leave Monday out of it as the outlier. They've absolutely failed to get back above the price probe or the price spike. So right now, we're going to call this a 3-day balance. We go out with a trend day, double distribution day. Very disappointing for the buyers. 3 days in a row, we close above last month's high, inside month up. Yesterday, fairly decent, only to close below it. Not by a lot. Again, just the way one day doesn't make a market to the upside, it doesn't make a market to the downside. We closed only about 70 cents below last month's high. So it's not over for the bulls, but I will tell you what I'm looking for, which could put a damper on the bulls party after tomorrow's close. Before we get to anything, I just want to show you how visual, how technical this market is when you're trading against short-term traders, and how it's wash, rinse, repeat. It's traders will do its work till it doesn't anymore. What happens now affects what happens next. Look at today, yesterday, and today. We gap higher, fill the gap, grind higher all morning, and we said, what are the buyers getting for it? Absolutely nothing. Flush out, shorts pile on, and then we were saying, well, what are shorts getting for it? Nothing. M takes out L, boom, they cover. So look what happens today. We didn't gap higher, but we opened, started trading higher, one time framing up, BCD, not getting much for it. We said if buyers don't get much, what's going to happen? They're going to give it up. Well, they gave it up really early today. E gives it up, F goes down, change takes place in F and G. Now the triple Q's only, the ES only has one set of single prints. I actually have 1 penny left here, but I'm still only going to call it double distribution day. And what happens? We flush out hard. All the week longs get out, shorts pile in, and then they continue to push here in K, L, M. M takes out L's high. What happens? Now all the shorts down here get taken to the woodshed in M and N. It's absolutely amazing. And I guarantee you, and we talk about this in the trading room, and it's we teach the traders this, what to look for a rotational day, a trend day, who you're trading against. I guarantee you, all these buyers here yesterday, today, and then all the shorts yesterday and today, they're the same ones. Not only did they get punched in the face on the long side here, now they get out of their longs, lose money. Now they jump on the short side and then lose money on that. I can guarantee you that happens to so many people. We had a good day in the trading room overall. We had another trader on the microphone for close to an hour who gave a ton of knowledge. That's what's so special about this room. We're not just in here trading, we're educating, informing, and having people from all different backgrounds and whatnot in their trading experiences give what they know, and it just makes it so much more special every day. Had a good day today. Had one losing trade in B period. Let's start with A. And one other thing before we get to my trades, I did say in the video this morning, without a doubt, we're going to trade either the M range from the 10th or the M range from the 11th. Said it's possible we do both. Well, we got all of the 10th and we got a good part of the 11th. So we ended up opening in value, in balance. Value is overlapping to lower. A good part of the day went lower. I did take a long play initially in A when we got above the opening, trying to see if we would get some acceleration into M's range from yesterday. Didn't really happen. It was a small trade, but I made money on it. It wasn't bad, but nothing special. Then in B period, we took out A's high. And I didn't take the long right away. That would have been the proper trade because you would have gotten something out of it. It would have gotten a quick 30, 40 cents. But B kept hovering around up here. I'm like, well, value's overlapping a low, but we're one time framing up. I was looking for them to probably test M's range, the whole thing, and maybe value high from yesterday. So midway between I was going to say A's high and B's high. I took a long. Obviously, I said if it gets below the open and I'm out, that's what happened. Got out of the trade. Yes, we went back higher in C or D, but trying to be very, very firm. I don't use stops. I'm trying to be firm on when I'm saying where my out is to get out. I could always get back in. I did not get back in on the long side, but I did get back in C on the short side. C took out B's high, got no distance, took the short. The 354s, again, I was trading tomorrow's. It was a 354 calls in A and B, and then the 358 puts starting in C for tomorrow's expiration. So that turned out to be a very nice trade. I didn't do anything then, believe it or not, to G. E stopped the one-time framing up. F came up. Got within 4 cents of E. Couldn't take that out. Once F flushed out, G started. I left one single print, got on board with the 355 puts, and had a nice trade on that in G period. Did another one in I period against the single prints. Took out some of them, came back down. Took the single prints short, worked it a couple of times in I period. That worked out nice. Now, I didn't do anything in J, because once J, actually I took the short in I before it stopped the one-time framing. I took the short as we were still one-time framing down. And then I was out of the trade, and once we took out H's high, that was it. I didn't do anything in J. I thought we'd test and fill the single prints and then maybe fail at last month's high again, and then look for a short between F's low and A's low. Didn't get that trade. I didn't get there, so I didn't do it. So it wasn't a big deal. What I did do next then is K period. It made a new low, but kept coming back in. So each time we got down to around H and I's low, towards today's low, I scalped the 350 calls about 4 or 5 times. Not for much. I was keeping a very short leash on it, because if we started getting acceleration, I didn't want to give back what I was making. I was only making 10 to 15 cents on them, but I did it 4 or 5 times on lots of 10s. And then in L period, took a short play, started shorting any push up in L I was shorting and taking it off as it came down. I did that a bunch of times. I actually had my biggest size of the day a couple of times, about 60 to 70 contracts, and it worked out beautifully in the whole time frame. Again, those were the 355 puts, and I did nothing in M period. So again, what's been played before affects what happens next. Two things in a row, days in a row, did the same thing. Destinations for tomorrow. Well, it's a double distribution day. We use J's high, single prints, 353.89, get filled at 354.23. First destination on the upside. Then I still have one tick, 357.52 at G's high. Then I have today's high of I said 357.52. It's 354.67. I apologize. 354.67 is the second, that one little tick of single prints. I gave you the overnight high just now. Sorry about that. Then above that, we have today's high of 356.42. We had a bad print, 560,000 shares up at around a 356.70 something level. But 356.42 is today's high. And then you should have all the other ones with the price probe and everything else we talked about from the 9th. For the downside, now we closed at 353.21. My first destination on the downside isn't until today's low, 351.26. Then Tuesday's low of 350.51, 350.06.11 wide from the 6th, 349.21 afternoon pullback low from the 6th, and 347.65 daily low. So your destinations to the downside are once again far and wide apart. So it's going to be interesting to see if we get sellers. Again, all this is, for my money's worth, M and N, are just shorts covering. That's all it is. The market didn't just turn good. It's just shorts covering. So actually, I would love to see it open somewhere around here, because right now we are trading an end period literally at last month's high. So it'd be nice to get some clarification again on that. So here's how I'm looking. Before I get to the charts, it's kind of easy to show you on here. Tomorrow's close is going to be very important to me, especially for the buyers. There's 3 possibilities. The worst of the possibilities for the buyers is we close below this 3-day low. 3-day balance. If we close below Tuesday's low tomorrow, a couple things would have transpired. You would have absolutely miserably failed at the all-time high. More importantly, where we'd be below the inside month up for the week after being above it 4 trading days, right? Well, 3 trading days. We're below it today's close. So I think that would put a pretty sour taste going into the weekend in the buyer's mouth if we close below the 3-day balance. Scenario 2, we close inside the 3-day balance and nothing is decided. Whether we close above last month's high or not wouldn't matter to me as much yet if we close inside the 3-day balance. And scenario 3 is we come out of the 3-day balance to the upside and finally get some legs and at least test the price probe and price spike. And then we get more clarity. If we close inside of it, maybe we're getting acceptance and we start taking back some of that huge day from Monday. If we just close it and then come back into the 3-day balance, well, again, that's a very good nuance to know about. Well, maybe they failed here again, and then we're going to go back to the bottom of the 3-day balance. These are all the things we start looking forward to tomorrow as the chess game begins again and we start painting our picture. And then on the charts, here's the monthly 4-month balance. They exploded to an all-time high. We are now back inside the previous all-time high, and I think right now more damaging below last month's high after coming out of an inside month to the upside. No good. Weekly, still calling it up. I'll call the weekly up for now, most likely even tomorrow, even though we're back into the big balance overall. I'm going to call the weekly up. Actually, one time framing up 2 weeks right now. And then on the daily, firmly balanced. Here's the 3-day balance what I'm talking about. That's important. Your 50-day moving average, again, is going to come into play. It's right around 339, 50, 340, somewhere around that level. If you get any acceptance below, that's why you don't, as a buyer, you don't want to close below this 3-day balance. Because if you do, well, then your big target initially will be that 50-day moving average. Hope you had a good day trading. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.